None of the Halloween movies are actually called The Final Halloween or Halloween the Final Chapter. There is actually a good reason for that. That's just because Michael Myers is forever. Hello everyone, welcome back to another horror franchise ranking by Jay Mare. And spooky season is coming to an end. October only has 2 days left. We are very close to Halloween, very excited for that. But like I said, this spooky season I really wanted to dive into the franchises of our 3 big horror icons. I already did 2. I already did Freddy Krueger and the A Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And I also did the Friday the 13th movies with our icon Jason Voorhees. So there is one icon left still to do this spooky season. And it is obviously Michael Myers and the Halloween movies. For those of you who already saw my video my favorite franchises, then you might know that Halloween is one of my favorite horror franchises. Since I saw that new Halloween movie in 2018, I became immediately a fan of this franchise. I really love this franchise. And I really love our horror icon, the slasher villain Michael Myers. If I think on horror, Michael Myers is one of the first things that I really think on. He is such an icon. Everyone knows who Michael is. He does not really talk, but still he has something creepy on him. Just the way he looks to his eyes with a creepy mask, the way he moves very slowly. He's just a cool slasher villain. So today I'm gonna rank all of his 13 movies. Well, the Halloween franchise has 13 movies, Michael only has 12. There is one movie Michael is not in, but we will get to that. So 13 movies, we better get to it. I'm just gonna try and not to talk too much on every movie, because I can easily do that, but it will be a long video and that's not my intention. So I'm gonna try to keep it short. Let's see if I can manage that. Anyhow, number 13. No surprise here, this is easily the place for Halloween Resurrection. What an embarrassment this movie was. This is not really a good Halloween film. There are days that I can easily watch this movie and have a great time, but there are days that I want something as a stupid comedy. But as a Michael Myers Halloween film, it does not work at all. Michael is still good in the first half hour, then he has something, but that first half hour also really is not good because it ruins that absolute brilliant ending of Halloween H2O, so I really dislike it for that. And the rest of the movie, just annoying teens in this reality program. They all have cameras, and sometimes we see what they are filming with absolute shitty quality. And then Michael Myers is just a joke in the rest of the movie, mostly because of Busta Rhymes and his trick or treat kung fu nonsense. Ridiculous. So, easily the weakest movie in this franchise. Just above that, a little surprise, a little shocker, but I have Halloween 2. Not the one by Rob Zombie, the one from 1981. Yes, this is perhaps a bit low, but I don't know, I just don't really care for this movie. It starts alright, with Michael Myers still walking down the streets and stalking and slaying people. That's still a nice segment of the movie. But as soon as we get to that hospital, the movie is just really boring for me. Nothing interesting to see for me. I don't really like the kills, I don't really like the characters. Laurie is just laying in a bed doing nothing. For me it's just a very passable Halloween movie, and I do not really look forward to give this movie another rewatch, so that is why it's so low on my list. Just above that, 11, we have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now this, I think, is just an okay movie. This is the one where Michael Myers is not in it. I don't mind that. The first time I saw it, I did, but it's still an okay story without Michael Myers. It's just low on my list because it's not really my kind of film. I don't really think it's that interesting. I don't really like the villain of this movie and the whole plot of this magic killing masks. It's just not really my thing. But there are some good, enjoyable elements in this movie, like our main protagonist. He was a very cool character, but just not really my kind of movie to watch. Number 10. And at number 10 we have the remake. The remake directed by Rob Zombie. And this remake is actually everything what a remake is supposed to do. First of all, Rob Zombie is still loyal to the original story of the Halloween from 1978. But he does his own thing with it, his own vision, his own style, with the characters, with the story. And that is fine, that is what we expect from a remake. And it's actually a well-directed movie, because Rob Zombie is actually a decent director. The only problem this movie actually has is that Rob Zombie is not the best writer, and in certain scenes you can really tell that. Like, the first 40 minutes could easily be cut down to just 10 minutes. We don't need all that backstory of a young Michael Myers. The middle part and the last part of the movie, they are actually fine. Actually very cool Michael Myers stuff, and I really like this new version of Laurie and Annie. But certain scenes, like the bagel scene in the beginning, what's the point? So, it is a good remake, but it's not perfect, so could not get higher than this. Number 9 we have Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And when I first saw this movie, I really loved it. I think it is one of the best Michael Myers in the franchise. Love the return of Tommy Doyle, played by Paul Rudd. It was very nice to see. I really liked the story. It was also a good conclusion for Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence. But after some new rewatches, something really bothers me, and that is that this is not a good conclusion for the Thorn trilogy. And it's not a good conclusion for the character of Jamie Lloyd. They really does that character dirty in this movie, and it's starting to bother me actually. So I hope maybe one day there is a new Halloween that is a more fitting conclusion for Jamie Lloyd, her character. I'm really hoping we will see that Halloween film. At number 8 we have Halloween Kills, the second movie directed by David Gordon Green. And what I really like about this movie is Michael Myers. This is one of the best, maybe the best Michael Myers we have in this franchise. He is very brutal, he's very menacing, he's very creepy. This is the Michael Myers we come to see in a Halloween movie. Also great kill scenes in this movie. But where it falls flat for me is the plot. Because other than Michael Myers, it's actually a pretty dumb movie. And that's everything with this Tommy character. I do not really like this Tommy character. The whole Evil Dies Tonight is, in my opinion, stupid. And like that segment where the whole crowd in the hospital is going after this crazy guy that has nothing to do with what Michael was doing. It's just, these things get me really out of the movie, and that's a shame. From here on, the next 7 are actually Halloween movies that I love. And at number 7 we have Halloween H2O, or the original 2018. This movie already tried to have a good conclusion for Laurie Strode character. And they actually managed to do that. The ending of this movie and the normal conclusion of the franchise was brilliant. This was amazing. And also, really like the 90s vibe in this movie. You can tell there is a Scream influence in this movie, but I don't mind that. Really love Scream, so what's not to like? Characters are interesting, are nice. Not the best Michael Myers. All in all, really love this movie. I often rewatch it. It's just a good 90s slasher film in my opinion. Number 6 we have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. A Halloween film that is usually a bit lower in people's lists. I get it, it's not the perfect Halloween movie, there are definitely flaws, but some flaws I don't get. Yeah, for me Halloween 5 is just a very cool, Jamie Lloyd Halloween film. I really liked Jamie Lloyd, played by Daniel Harris in this film, and together with the fourth one, 4 and 5 are a perfect back-to-back Halloween movies. And there are certainly things to like in Halloween 5. I always love it. Maybe in the future I will do a video where I express my love for Halloween 5 more in depth, so maybe something for the future. So we are at the top 5. These 5 are the Halloween films that I absolutely love. And at number 5 we have a movie that I actually didn't like at first, and that is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is definitely an improvement over his first movie, and I really love this, especially that whole hospital sequence in the beginning. That's for me easily the best Halloween scene in this franchise. That was absolutely amazing. And what I really like on Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, but I didn't, when I first saw it, was this new direction, this new vision of Halloween. It was more focused on the character of Michael Myers in the first place. He does different things, we get to know him better on different levels. But also the focus on trauma and dealing with trauma by our characters Laurie and Annie. Laurie in this movie is not pleasant, she's actually quite annoying, but I understand her. Annie is definitely the best character, also played by Daniel Harris. And it all comes together very nicely, and it has a cult following now, and I'm very pleased that it has this cult following, and I consider myself in that following. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, amazing. At number 4 we have a controversial one. It is the most recent Halloween film, Halloween Ends. Yes, very hated by most people. I love it. Since the first day I saw it in theaters, I was just blown away by how different it was. The opening scene was very special, and immediately you get the feeling this is not going to be our typical Halloween movie. Most people have a problem with the character of Corey. He is very prominent, more prominent than Michael Myers, but I actually don't mind that. It was very nice to see that Michael has this kind of apprentice, but I see it more like a transition of evil. Michael is broken, Michael is old, and the evil inside him finds this new target, this new victim with Corey. And Corey is getting more evil and evil. I really love that about this movie. Also great cinematography, one of the best in the franchise. The only thing that really bothers me about this film is the ending. I just wished for a completely different ending than what we got, so still worth of my 4th place. Number 3, everyone's favorite probably. I have it at number 3, and that is the original Halloween from 1978. John Carpenter really crafted a masterpiece of a slasher film. This is actually a blueprint for slasher films, definitely in that time period. It's a bit of a slow burner, but it actually works. You have this constant creepy, eerie atmosphere, you have our introduction to Michael Myers. It's actually very well paced, even though it's a bit slow. Everything is perfect on this movie. Just the slowness of it keeps it a bit from getting at number 1 or 2 for me, but other than that, I absolutely agree that this is one of the best horror movies ever. And for nearly 50 years we are talking about this movie, and the next 50 years we will probably still be talking about this movie. But I have 2 other movies that I slightly like more than the original. And at number 2, that's Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. And why do I prefer this over the original is for the simple reason that Halloween 4 is everything that I actually wanted to see in a Halloween movie. It is really fast paced, we have a cool Michael Myers, his whole escape is actually very nice to see with his different mask. Loomis is very good in this movie, but the show stealers are easily the young Jamie Lloyd and Rachel. And maybe an unpopular opinion, but I always liked the character of Jamie Lloyd more than Laurie Strode. And Danielle Harris, the young age, was perfect as this young Jamie Lloyd. It's just my go-to Halloween movie, basically. That's why it's number 2. But my favorite Halloween movie of all time is Halloween 2018. Because this is the Halloween movie that made me fan of the franchise, that made me fan of Michael Myers. I saw this in theater when I was not really a fan of the franchise, and I was blown away by it. This movie amazed me. It was just wow. I was so hyped by this movie, it was amazing. And certain Michael Myers is very good in this movie. I like this new approach about the 3 generations of women. Some cool scenes, like the scene that he's walking in the street while kids are doing the trick or treat, and he goes from door to door and killing people. It was all in a long take, and I love that scene. And certain scenes are just very well crafted, and Halloween 2018 has just a special place in my heart, and that will stay, I believe. So that's why it's my favorite Halloween movie. So guys, this is my ranking of all the Halloween movies. I hope you enjoyed my ranking. Always be free to share your personal ranking below in the comments. Would love to read those. If you want to see more rankings of me in the future, always be free to subscribe to my channel. And I can all wish you a happy Halloween. Until the next time.